You are gifted. You are important. You matter. You come from people. There is pride. There is high.
On behalf of foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations, Kamala. On behalf of foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations. You're not going to use our ancestors' legacy to give money to illegal immigrants. We're foundational Black Americans. We built this country. We're not voting for you. We're not voting for the Democrats. And we're not voting for anybody until we get paid. Remember that. FBA.
Turn around.
FBA. Cash payment reparations.
Come on, turn around.
We're walking. We're going.
Let's go.
Reparations.
Briefly, we have to get going in one moment. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
Hey, yo, as I look around this room, if you're 35 years old or younger, raise your hand. 4 people. So here's the thing. Y'all in trouble. Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. All of y'all in here, with all due respect, you're beautiful, but you're old. You're not talking to the youth. You don't know how to talk to the youth. You try to tell us what to do. We're not having it no more. So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you don't have our money, you don't get our vote. Yeah, not. Who are you? Oh, all right, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm going to land my plane right there, but the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. No check, no vote. Y'all take care. And somebody get my man a tissue. He need a tissue.
Thank you. First, let me clarify something. There are...
Yo family, real quick. I'm proud to announce the soft launch of Sincereluvdagod's new book, From the Womb to Illmatic, a hip-hop inspired blueprint for unlocking your child's inner genius. This ain't your average parenting book. This is for the culture. Inspired by Illmatic, built around his own son Seven's early development, and packed with real tools to help parents turn everyday moments into genius-level learning. If you've ever wanted to give your child a head start without losing your roots, this book is for you. Available now on Amazon. Order now and leave a 5-star review. You already know, we raising brilliance around here.
Hi, I'm Seven, and I'm the Super Harry. That means I ask big questions, I make big moves, and I confront something powerful. In this series, I broke through change, embraced my culture, and unlocked the gifts that my ancestors gave me. These books are for kids like me, kids with heart, with pride, and with big dreams. Come join the journey. Collect all 4 Seven the Super Hero books and unlock your power. Available on Amazon and Kindle now. Order your copy today.
Here's the way it is. You live in direct relation to the poets, the heroes, and the sheroes you have. Always honor the elders. Then you honor yourself. Honor women. You honor yourself. Honor men. You honor yourselves.
yeah, we back, goddammit. We back.
We
What's
back.
going on, family? Peace. Welcome to another episode of SincereluvdagodCast. I am the God Sincere Love. Back in the house once again with my lovely co-host, Nicey Girl. What's good?
I'm back. Happy to be back. I miss y'all. Y'all miss me?
Right. Yes. Yes.
It's been a minute for me.
You've been going longer than me, so we all miss your ass.
Yeah. I've been gone.
But you've been going from the live broadcast longer than me, but you've been hella active on social media.
I'm active on social media. I can sit here, I can lay in the bed and do that.
Yeah, you put it in work. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that, because I ain't really been posting like that. You know what I'm saying? I've been dipping in and out of social media, seeing what's going on, checking on things, but you've been putting belt to ass out here. You know, so we've been kind of absent, but not really absent.
But not really.
You know what I'm saying? But good to see all of y'all faces up in the place. So y'all know what to do.
There we go.
As y'all come up in the room, hit that like button for us. Share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live this week. You know, we've been going for a couple of weeks, but we are live right now with another episode of SincereluvdagodCast. And if you're not already, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we decide to go live or upload new content on this channel. Did you miss us? Did you miss us, family? Because we missed y'all.
We did.
We missed y'all.
Y'all see, I done got a little swollen. I'm a little chunky over here now. I gotta get out this bed.
Man, you ain't the only one that been eating now. What you been? Because I seen you cook some shrimp. What the hell was that?
I made some chicken fried rice and chicken egg rolls the other day. Are you talking about that? Then
It looked like an egg roll, but it had a shrimp in it or something. It kind of looked like I don't know what the hell it was. It was some Asian looking cup thing with some shrimp or something else in it.
I bought those from Whole Foods.
It came like that?
I didn't make that. Yeah,
okay.
I got that from Whole Foods, but it was good though.
Okay. But what was it in? What was the cup thing that it was in?
It was like almost like a wonton cup type thing. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, no, like it's nice to be cooking her ass off.
I do. That I do, but I didn't make that.
What's going on, family? Shout out to Crew Reality in the building.
What's up,
Peace,
y'all?
family. What's up to Mama Love? Mama Love just left here. Mama Love was here with us all last week, helping me get things together over here. I'm in the process of transitioning to my own private barber studio suite situation. I'll talk to y'all about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Mama Love was here last week helping get things set up for that. So shout out to Mama Love in the building. Shout out to Austell Gray in the building. Who else we got? Jesse Paris in the building.
I like that flyer you got out there, Jesse. That's dope. Tell your girl she did that.
First Class Citizen C1B, I think that says. Shout out to you. Shout out to Bruce Smith in the building. What's going on, family? Shout out to our brother Melrose Radio in the building. Melrose Radio. All right, he said, give me 10 minutes. No worries. We're not going to jump right into it, but that is what we're going to be discussing on today's episode of SincereluvdagodCast. The Black Grassroots have been putting belt to ass when it comes to pulling up on the Democrats. Pull-up summer has already begun, and we still in the spring. Man. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of y'all seen the video with our brother Melrose that went viral, where he pulled up on, the National Action Network event that they was having and let our demands be known. And then we had another video from our brother Black Alpha that went viral at some event that Kamala was having. Was she selling books or something? What was it? She on a book tour or something?
It was her book tour, but she can get it there too.
Yeah. Yeah. So Black Alpha pulled up over there and let our demands be known. You know what I'm saying? And so it's been a trend. Niggas ain't waiting for the summer to pull up. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to be talking about on today's episode. And so, yeah, take your time, brother Melrose. We definitely would love to get you on, to talk about, what went down out there behind the scenes and all of that too. So let us know when you're ready, and we will drop the link for you to hop on.
Started in spring. Pull-up summer has started in spring. DNC has officially been put on notice, period. You
Yes,
know,
indeed.
when conversations are being had about politics, foundational Black Americans need to be at the top priority. Reparations being the top priority. No more gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? No, and no more thinking that you guys can just bark, you know what I'm saying, and talk down at foundational Black Americans and think somebody not pulling up. We're pulling up. Our demands are going to be heard loud and clear. We're not playing with y'all no more. I think we played long enough. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, oh, well, she's not even talking politics. She's on the book tour. She is talking about it. As long as she's talking about Trump and all the things that he's doing, you know, during this book tour, what I noticed is she really didn't talk too much, you know, about ICE and things like that. But you're throwing little nuggets out there. So we're catching them. You know what I'm saying? And we're just, again, putting you on notice that in 2028, if you decide to bring your little happy ass out here and call yourself voting again, you're going to get embarrassed again.
Shout out to Toronto in the building. And exactly. Yeah, because she tiptoeing around and throwing hints out about running for president again. And so, yeah, we letting her know what the temperature is. You know, we're gonna give you an accurate reading on what's going on out here.
Right.
And so we're going to get into that in just a minute, but give more people a couple of minutes to come up in the room. And again, make sure that y'all liking and sharing this broadcast. We haven't been live in a while, so I don't even know if people are getting our notifications and stuff like that. So definitely need y'all to be our street team and let everybody know that we live right now.
Right. And who was that? Eve? I don't know how to say it. Is it Evision?
Eviscerator.
There we go.
Triple X.
Yeah, she was in Savannah, of all places, which I hear Savannah is pretty Black, but her audience there that day was mostly white people. All
I didn't even catch that.
Booths and stuff like that. That like there were more Caucasians there than anybody.
Yeah, because if you notice, at that event, there was a lot of boos and people reacting when Black Alpha stood up and said what he said. But at the event when Melrose was there, it was kind of quiet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which was very telling.
I'm glad he said it because I was thinking it.
Right.
You know
Type shit. Type shit. Yeah. The energy was a little different. So yeah. That makes a difference. But yeah, before we get into all of that, man, we was gone for a couple of weeks, so we missed a lot of hot topics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, that we didn't really have a chance to get into. What's been going on out here these last couple of weeks? You had the Kanye situation. We didn't get to talk about that.
Right.
The Ye situation. Shout out to Ye, man. I know people, he's a polarizing figure. People feel different ways about Ye on a personal level. But when you just look at what's going on with our brother and, his fight against the industry and the media and, multiple industries, really, you know what I'm saying? It's the music industry. It's the overall mainstream media. It's the fashion industry. You know what I'm saying? All of these lanes where he's been able to dominate, they trying to shut him down. They want to see him gone. They want to be able to just yank his chain and do him like they normally do a lot of Black celebrities when they get out of line. You know what I'm saying? And so I know there's a lot of things that Ye has done and said that even we don't agree with, that we don't really rock with or support like that. And that is what it is. But at the end of the day, when you just look at the situation that's going on with Ye, it shows you that there's been a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
There's been a paradigm shift, and the powers that shouldn't be are starting to no longer be. You know what I'm saying? They don't really got the levers of control the way that they used to. They're not able to just bend reality and make up whatever they want to make up, and we just got to go along with it no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because Ye is still being heavily supported. Y'all seen he sold out them 2 shows out there at SoFi Stadium.
Random.
Which was incredible. You know what I'm saying? Really no type of corporate support, sponsorship, it wasn't really a big media campaign promoting the event or nothing. It's really just him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Saying, yo, I'll be over here on Tuesday. Y'all come check me out.
Like y'all said, straight to consumer.
Right.
Without the middleman, less hands in the pot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Right. And so that was incredibly successful. And it was just a dope show overall. You know what I'm saying? We can get into that too. But just, you know, the way he was able to pull it off and sell out 2 nights in a row, that was dope.
70,000 seats.
And so then, you know, he was scheduled. Y'all know, if y'all been paying attention, he was scheduled to be the headline. What's the name of that festival
Something
out there in
festival
London?
in the UK. I don't know the name of it.
I forgot the name of the festival.
Yeah.
But it was a big festival that goes on out there in London. It's supposed to be like 150,000 people out there or something across the week, over the course of the weekend. And he was the headline each night for the show. And so, you know, all of the big sponsors started pulling out of it. Pepsi, who normally is the number one sponsor of it, they pulled out. I forgot who else. I think it was it PayPal or Cash App or?
I think it was PayPal.
One of those.
PayPal. Mm-hmm.
One of those. They pulled out of it, and a couple of other corporations pulled out of it. But the festival people were still like, well, you know, we still rocking with Ye. We still going with Ye. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get this money.
He did.
Yeah.
You know, so Pepsi, if you don't want to be here, we won't sell Pepsi at the event. We'll sell Dr. Pepper. Like, what the hell? You're lost.
Right. They're like, listen, we gonna get this money. You know, we don't agree with the shit that he was saying before either, but hey, he apologized. You know what I'm saying?
But we had Vibes Cartel out here last year who, you know, unalived somebody in served time. So if he's good to go up, you know, on stage, I don't see why Ye can't go on stage after hurting a few feelings.
Right.
With words.
And so what ultimately ended up happening is the government had to step in and completely ban Ye from the UK, which I saw that coming. I was posting about it on Facebook and shit like that. I was like, yeah, they're just going to ban him because really there's nothing else they could do. You know what I mean? There's really nothing else they could do at this point. Once I saw that the festival was standing on it, the festival wasn't going to say, hey, listen, we're going to go in another direction. When they said, nah, this is our guy. He's the headline. You know what I'm saying? Peace, Pepsi, and whoever else don't want to be a part of it, we'll holler at y'all. When I saw that, I said, oh, they're gonna do the same shit that they did to Tariq and Farrakhan.
The same words.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same words.
Yeah, they got that broad ass rule in place, which is not even a law. It's just some shit that they could just arbitrarily pull out their ass and say, this person is not conducive to the good of UK society, or however they say it. You know what I'm saying? And it's ambiguous and broad on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So that way they can use it however they decide to use it. You know what I'm saying? They're not very specific about anything, because then you have to do something specific in order to be in violation of the rule. You know what I'm saying? But they leave it broad so that they could just apply it how they see fit. And so I'm like, yeah, they're going to do that shit with Ye. And sure enough, that's what they did. And so he had another show coming up somewhere else that he canceled on his own. What country was that? I forgot what country it was in, but he had another stadium show that was scheduled in another country, and he started getting the same kind of threats. They were going to ban him from this other country too, so he got ahead of it and was like, yo, I'm just cancel the show for now. You know what I mean? People not ready, you know what I'm saying? But he does have some stadium shows lined up in different countries. I think India, I think China, and Turkey like and different places like that are going to host them, and you know what I'm saying? And they don't give a damn what they talking about over here.
He's still selling shoes. He's still selling merch, all the things. So, you know, only thing y'all hurting, I guess, is the fans. And the fans are going to support him however they can. Yeah.
It seemed like he get even more support because people like, come on, this is ridiculous. Right. You know, people see it for what it is. Like, come on, this is what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The man, he chilling now. You know what I'm saying? We ain't agree with that dumb shit he was saying, but right now he chilling. He made an album. Nothing on the album is controversial. You know what I'm saying? He ain't talking none of that dumb shit he was talking before. And even at the show, like usually, like I was kind of bracing for a spectacle at the SoFi show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was kind of bracing for him to go on a rant or do something. He just kept it about the music, kept it about the entertainment, put on a dope ass show. And even on social media, he hasn't been, you know, tweeting like that and doing the shit that he normally do. You know what I mean? When he got projects coming. I ain't going to say normally, but what he's been known to do in recent years when he had projects coming out. He hasn't been doing none of that. So He deserves the benefit of the doubt just like anybody else.
Just like anybody else. And I want to shout out my sister, Professor Zahelia, because she did security
Yeah,
at the
shout out to
event.
Zahelia.
Yeah, so
Us.
she was right. Us.
She's the head security for his wife, right?
For his wife, yeah.
What's her name? Centauri?
Bianca.
Yeah,
Something,
Bianca Sensory.
Yeah.
Bianca Sensory. Now, speaking of that, I was thinking about that recently, and I was like, this kind of interesting. Because remember before when Ye was talking about the trainer that he had, who was really this
Medicating
CIA
him
agent dude, you know, who was basically his handler, like you said, medicating him and, you know what I'm saying, doing all this weird stuff they had going on. I was thinking about with his wife, because if you follow Ye, you know, Ye always been into, you know, not only is he into art and music and stuff like that, but he's specifically been into like architecture. And he values architects and their vision a lot. Like almost the top brass staff that he had at Yeezy were all architects.
And she
you know
is
what I'm
too.
saying? His wife is an architect. And she looks like Kim Kardashian.
In the face.
She got her aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? She's it's the same font, like my daughter be saying. It's the same font. You know what I'm saying?
I like that term.
Yeah. And so I'm like, damn, is she a handler? Because she been rocking with him through all of this controversy too. You know what I'm saying? She never tried to distance herself or anything like that. She always stayed close and stayed down, and she's still a part of everything now. I think she helped design that stage set. She
directed the video with him and Travis Scott as well.
Yeah, she's the director of the video and all of that. So I'm like, damn, could this bitch be an agent, low key? You know what I'm saying? Because they study you. They know your weaknesses. They know your desires. They know And so they're like, okay, so he like this type of woman right here, architect, whatever. Probably had that lined up years ago. Sent her to school.
Years ago. Man.
You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about that. Like that'd be very interesting.
He's a willing participant at the end of the day.
Yeah, he should know to be more careful. Yep. The Bianca chick. We talking about the Bianca chick. Yeah. I don't know. It's just could be, you know, a little tinfoil kufi action. It's like, maybe they could have possibly sent her. She could possibly be sent. Who knows?
What I want to know, just, you know, for you brothers out here, and not you specifically, but just any brother that may know, what is it about this, you know, palm colored cooch that gets y'all so, you know, messed up in the brain? Like, you know, what is it about the palm color?
It's white girl magic, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. It's white girl magic. You know what I'm saying? We always hear about black girl magic.
Right.
But white girl magic is a thing, believe it or not. I know to us it's like, well, what magic? They bland, they ain't got no nothing, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no seasoning, ain't no nothing. What magic? What you talking about?
Tonsils? Is it tonsils?
No, because you got black women that can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
But white girls do probably a little more.
No, the thing that they do is they make it super easy. You know what I'm saying? With a black woman, you got to have a little bit of game about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some type of swag, some type of something going on. You know what I'm saying? But with the white girls, especially the ones that's hip to the game, they just going to put it on a platter for you. They're going to make you feel like a king. They're going to, you know what I'm saying? They ain't going to give you no lip. They ain't going to give you none of that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to cater to you the way that you feel like you should be catered to. You know what I'm saying? They're going to stroke your ego, all of those things. A black woman, you got to really warrant that to be able to bring that out of a black woman. You know what I'm saying? You got to be worthy of that. You know what I'm saying? And so any old goofy nigga could get that from a white girl. That's why it's mostly goofies that you see ending up in these type of situations. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too many niggas
taken for everything at the end.
Think about all of the niggas that you see get trapped off by these white girls like that. The majority of them is niggas that you wouldn't really want anyway. If you really think about it. I'm talking about you.
That's true. I'm saying that's true. like goofies.
Right.
Like aesthetically, like it's not the guy that I'm gonna go for just at first glance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I noticed this early on because like where I'm from, Middletown, New York, it's like a kind of upstate suburb outside of New York City. And so it's very diverse. You know what I'm saying? White girls is nothing new to me. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with white girls, went to school with white girls. You know what I'm saying? But when a lot of niggas that come from the city to where I live at, they come from Brooklyn, they come from Harlem, places like that. They never really been around white girls like that. These niggas get excited. You know what I'm saying? These niggas like, oh shit, white girls? You know what I'm saying? It's like something exotic to them. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like something that's taboo. It's not something that they're supposed to have access to like that. And so when they get upstate and they see that, oh, the white girls is right there and they choosing and, you know what I'm saying? It's no barriers.
Cooperating and everything.
You know what I mean? So niggas go overboard with it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's like, okay, white girl, all right. Like, been there, done that.
I didn't go to school with white people. Like, it took me till, I'll say, like elementary, just black and Mexican. Middle school, black and Mexican. I think in elementary school, we had one white girl. She only went there 1 year. After that, no. Even our teachers were all black for the most part. I think 10th grade, because I went to a different school in a different city, it was predominantly white. I went to the same school as Charles O'Bannon, if y'all know the O'Bannon brothers.
That sounds
they're
familiar.
they're just a few years older than me, but I went to school with them. And so, yeah, you know, they were like the it guys there because obviously they played basketball and stuff like that. Everybody knew that they were going to eventually make it to the NBA, which I think they got accepted to UCLA. They did make it to the NBA, and they only dated the white girls at the school at the time too. I don't know if they're married to, you know, white girls now, to be honest, because I haven't followed them, you know, that much further. But yeah, but that's all they did. And I used to look at them like these big, tall. It's like all they looking at these. I was talking crap then, y'all, and I wasn't even like on this level yet, but I was talking shit.
Right. I mean, but yeah, that's my observation, and you know, y'all making some good points in the chat too. Y'all making some good points in the chat. Somebody said, where is it? Somebody said they fetishize them, which is true. Both of them fetishize each other. Somebody said most brothers say the Yakubians have better attitudes, right? They say the white girls treat black men better. It's also that they think having a white partner is a big time status symbol, right? And you do got people that think like that. I think, you know, our brother Kanye might be one of those. I know Nick Cannon had said something like that before.
I'm waiting for him to fall. I'm sorry, because these girls like it's giving me like weird vibes. Like somebody's gonna cry wolf at some point with all these Becky's around him having these kids. You know, they feeling they did it under duress. He threatened me one day when they get mad.
He got kids with white girls?
Yeah.
I ain't know that. Who's the white girls? Any famous? Anybody famous?
She's on, one of them is on that show. It's on Netflix. She's a realtor. Selling Sunset. You know, she sells some of the upscale properties here. Yes, and yes. One of them. I think the one with the short hair, I think she's black, maybe biracial, but they're all other. All of them.
I don't even know how to say your name, nigga, but I don't know why you begging for my attention. This nigga talking about, so y'all gonna keep ignoring my comments? Yo, how you type with a lisp, nigga? How you type with a lisp? Y'all just gonna ignore my comments? Nigga, because you ain't talking about nothing.
Right.
What the hell you want? What the hell you coming in here trying to get attention for? It ain't about you, nigga. Chill out. Whatever the hell your name is. Anyway, what's going on, my brother Ishmael in the building?
What's up, Ish?
Dante 3 times in the building. No Love Chuck. What's going on? What's going on with y'all? What is going on with y'all? Go ahead.
there was this weird situation that happened in Shreveport, Louisiana, today. I think this was today. Yeah. So there was a suspect who unalived 8 people, 8 children, and 2 women. 2 women. And most of those children were his, all ages from a 1-year-old to 14-year-old in Shreveport, Louisiana today. This morning.
And he did himself too?
No, he fled and police unalived him.
Damn, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause there was a story like that also recently too. I think somewhere in the DMV area. There was a former lieutenant governor, black dude.
Yeah.
What was that, Virginia?
That was Virginia. It was, yeah.
Former lieutenant governor of Virginia unalived his wife or his ex-wife?
No, she filed for divorce, but they were still under the same roof. So he unalived her and himself, and their 14-year-old and 16-year-old children were in the home at the time, were not harmed, thankfully, but they were home when it happened.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
And what's his name? Bowling Ball Roland Martin. He kind of, I guess, made some type of post or on his podcast, kind of giving condolences to the guy, and I guess it was kind of softball because that's one of his frat brothers or something like that. Okay. So their fraternity kind of scolded him and told him to take that stuff down.
Oh, really?
Because it was almost like he was condoning domestic violence in a way. You know what I'm saying? Just because this person is one of your frat brothers or something, like belong to one of those organizations that you belong to, doesn't mean he doesn't get held accountable.
Oh, so he was kind of bigging him up?
It's just like more like,
like some type of support.
Like this,
it was supportive.
Like almost like he was a victim in a way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they scolded Roland about it.
Good. Fat ass Roland.
Yeah, they scolded him.
I seen another brother that's in his fraternity too, who was distancing himself. I forgot who. Somebody had him on their broadcast. Somebody from the Black Grassroots.
Black has him on weekly. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. He belongs to the same fraternity, as Roland. They know each other and stuff like that. But he identifies as foundational Black American. And he's like, yeah, that's my, fraternity brothers, and I deal with them on that. But when it comes to lineage-based business, reparations policies and stuff like that, I'm going to align with that first. My fraternity is second, always. And then he called Roland out because he's like, you get on there and you do all that, name calling and all that stuff, but you don't do that to me, not in person, not even on his podcast. He's literally said nothing negative about that guy, but he's saying, but you're saying it about the lineage.
Right.
So I gotta call you out. So I like this dude because he is holding him accountable.
Shout out to him. I didn't know he was like a regular.
Weekly.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He's a regular. I like how he's like standing on business when it comes to foundational Black American business policies, reparations, and tangibles, period.
Look, nice to getting all hot in the pants. Run out.
It's been a long time.
So I like him, y'all.
I like him.
What's his name?
I just see, because usually they're going to align with, the fraternity or the sorority or whatever. That becomes, your priority. You have some type of loyalty to that before you do your own lineage and group and you see what's going on. So he's like, no. And then he's like, I don't like, the name calling and stuff like that, because you're not getting anywhere with that. You know what I'm saying? That's not making people want to align with you or even hear what you're saying if they got any sense.
I don't even know what this guy is talking about in the comment section.
The one that said talking about Scott McKenzie, the ex-wife.
Yeah, I don't even know what this guy's talking about. I'm going to try to ignore you and just let you live. But if you keep getting on my nerves, we're just going to have to time you out or something, man.
Yeah. Because you off topic, bro.
Yeah. You're very, very distracting in the comments, brother. Chill out, man. Chill out. Anyway, the
DNC, basically, we figured it out. The DNC is sending these people to troll the comments, whether it's online in spaces, YouTube, and other places, Instagram and stuff like that. As you guys can see, I have someone impersonating me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
I saw that.
Yeah. So I believe that this is, the DNC just doing that. They're in here listening. Yeah.
That's true. And that's the perfect segue to get into the main topic today, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the DNC is shook right now because everywhere that they turn up, somebody from the Black Grassroots is pulling up and letting our voices be heard, letting our message be known. And so I definitely want to take this time out, especially since we're still in Black Media Month. Shout out to New Black Media out here.
To New Black Media.
So I definitely want to give a major shout out to Black Alpha, brother Black Alpha. Like I said earlier, he pulled up to that event with Kamala, and our brother Melrose, who pulled up to the event with Sharpton and all of those guys
in New York.
And he also was out there with Sister Brooke and them too when the Ghanaians came out there disrespectfully to the what's the name of that place out there in New York?
Basically, when it was
the burial ground.
Yeah, the burial ground over there.
It's the burial ground for the formerly enslaved.
Trying to double dip.
Yeah. And he was a part of that. He was a part of that protest too. I seen he was out there. And I'm not too familiar with Melrose, but I've realized I've been following him for a while because he got a long history of pulling up on these folks.
Boots
you know what
on
I'm
the
saying?
ground.
Yeah. This wasn't the first time he had to get on one of those microphones and speak truth to power, let it be known what it is. So let me find the videos. Actually, I'm gonna go to his page and pull up the original one to where I think is where I first started following him at. So yeah, let me find this real quick. Nicely, you could keep going.
Same thing here. Our brother Billion's godson, he actually pulled up this weekend too at the governor's debate out here in Baldwin Hills. You know what I'm saying? Trying to check the temperature, of these folks who claim that they want to run for governor here in California. And basically, no one's really speaking our language, but for the most part, he said that Tony Herman said that he will push forward reparations policies to get Black people monetary assistance. But again, they'll say anything just to get a vote. We don't even know this person. And then we have several of them with, Asian and Hispanic last name. And clearly they're not, supporting reparations. So we here in Black California will not support you.
Period. And I got the video pulled up. Let me share the screen with y'all real quick. Let me see if I can fix that so we could be on the screen too. Let me see, like this. Hold on one second, y'all. All right, there you go. That'll work. That'll go work. And so this was a while back. I can't see the date here, but this was like sometime last year. Oh, October of last year. This was when this one was posted. But this is our brother Melrose at one of the hearings in New York. Let me see. Melrose Mike from Melrose Cooks at the New York State Community Commission on Reparations Remedies says that the United States government needs to give foundational Black Americans the same money they gave to illegals and Netanyahu.
If you could introduce yourself at the microphone.
My name on the joint is Mike Blackman.
Okay, thank you.
You got me?
Yes.
All right, hello, good evening, everybody. If everybody, including the commissioners, could do me a favor, if you, your parents, and or your grandparents immigrated from somewhere, please raise your hand. Anyone on the commission, ma'am, raise your hand, please. Immigrated, came from somewhere else. No, ma'am, don't project that onto me. Pardon me, quiet, please. You're taking up my time. Pardon me. So, ma'am, raise your hand, please. All right, so we have one lady that's part of the commission that for some reason is ashamed of her heritage. And that's, ma'am, reparations isn't a remedy for racism. Reparations is a debt that's owed from slavery. Reparations is more than a check. But the very first thing it is a check. And that goes to the living descendant survivors of slavery here in what we now call the United States of America. I need you commissioners to have the same energy for us, for our lineage, that you have for these illegals that come over here with $0 in their pocket, no shoes on their feet, and then within 24 hours, they got Jordans, the newest cell phone with the watch to match. So I need you to have the same energy for us, because you don't have them doing a million studies and commissions all over the city and state. You don't have studies and commission all over the city and state when it's time to give millions, billions, and trillions to Israel. Netanyahu, he's setting up drones. My man right here, he got a drone. But Netanyahu, he has guns and bombs on the drones, and they're killing people out there. Y'all don't have studies and commissions when it comes to send money to Netanyahu. Y'all don't have studies and commissions when it comes to send money to Ukraine and all this other stuff. So stop playing with our money. Get us our money. And if the language isn't right, everyone get one of these papers. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to fill out the QR codes, and it'll help disaggregate the information and the language and get everything right. And Kathy Hochul, I know you're listening. If you don't give me my money, I'm gonna land right there.
Thank you. Okay.
Shout out to the good brother Melrose.
Shout out to him. Yes. And
Shout out to the good brother Melrose.
Immigrant descendants, stand up.
Yeah, don't be ashamed.
Now you want to be ashamed.
Y'all so ashamed of y'all damn background.
Speaking of, yesterday I had to go to the Mercedes dealer because I had to take my car for a service, right? So I'm sitting in the, at Mercedes, they have like a little lounge area, with Starbucks and water and snacks and stuff. So I decided to stay and wait for my car. And so one of the employees, he was taking lunch, and he decided that he was just gonna come chop it up with me. Hispanic guy, I guess he worked in the automotive side. Mm-hmm. So he's coming up in here. He was like, "Yeah, we're just talking about random stuff." And then he was like, "Yeah, it's so expensive here. My mom is thinking about selling our house or whatever, and maybe we move to El Paso, Texas, because it's more Mexicans there, and we're Mexican." This is what he's saying, mm-hmm. Right? He was like, "I have 2 uncles. Both of them get SSI. Wow. One lives in Ensenada, which is 2 hours, from a 2-hour ride to California, and the other one lives in TJ, which is also 2 hours, from LA, basically. They both, one stays in Ensenada, the other one stays in TJ. He says that they have direct deposit in America on the US side. They come every single month. Their check go direct deposit. They take all the cash out and then go back home, and they live like kings off of $1,200 a month. In TJ and Ensenada. He's bragging to me about that. Like
at the Benz dealership, by the way.
At the Benz dealership, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, brother Melrose, if you in the chat, say something in the chat so I could drop the link for you to hop on, man. I would love to get you on, so we could chop it up with you real quick. I know you was in here early. You said you needed a minute to get ready. But when you're ready, just let us know so I could drop the link and get you on. But yeah, and so that's when I first seen the brother Melrose, that clip that we just played right there. And yeah, that's the type of energy that's out here right now. Mm-hmm. That's the type of energy that's out here right now. I feel so bad, y'all. Oh man, hold on 1 second. The lady that sold me my dog. It's an older lady that sold me my dog, and she had a bunch of dogs. She had a bunch of Yorkies, and she had some other kind of dog. And our dog ran away. We lost our dog a couple of weeks ago. Yes.
Oh,
I think somebody stole the dog. I let the dog out to go use the bathroom and everything, and we ain't never seen the dog
Yorkies
again.
are a hot commodity. I had a Yorkie for 7 years, and that's what happened with my Yorkie.
Somebody got you?
Mine was a teacup. Mine was a teacup, 7 pounds, only 7 pounds. And my mother let him out. I never let Louis out, without a leash. I'm with him. You know what I'm saying? But he must have run to the front. Somebody put his ass in the car with him and pulled off. We ain't seen him no more after having him 7 years.
Man, I see. We didn't even have our dog that long, so it was good because 7 wasn't like super attached yet to the dog or whatever. But the lady that sold us the dog, she been texting me the last couple of days, asking me how the dog is doing.
He?
I don't even know what to say. I'm like, I can't tell her the dog is gone. It's gonna break her heart. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he ran away and went and found her, or is she far?
Yeah, she far. Yeah,
okay,
she kind of
so
far.
He didn't find her.
She kind of far. What am I supposed to say, man?
Was he microchipped?
He just had the thing on his collar. The collar thing.
Oh yeah, they gonna take that off. They ain't bring him back.
Yeah. He gone. He gone. He been gone for a few weeks now. But what am I supposed to say to the lady, man? I don't know what to say to that lady, man. And now I feel bad for ignoring her. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I'm ignoring her.
That was her calling me just now. She like, all right, this nigga ain't responding to my text. Let me call. I feel bad.
Just say he's okay.
She want pictures. She like, send me some pictures. Yes. She's asked me to send her some pictures of the dog and everything. I'm like, oh man.
You ain't got no old ones?
I got a couple. I only got a couple pictures, but damn, man. It's messed up, man.
They could have brought the dog back.
Hey, shout out to Dante 3X with the super chat. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Dante.
The happy new Black Media Appreciation Month. Be one to you.
Yeah, even with the microchipping though, that's only if they get lost and someone actually takes them to the pound.
Right.
Otherwise, nothing is. He's not getting scanned. They're not going to bring him back.
Right. Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I called the pound a couple of times. They're like, well, I gave them the chip number and everything like that. They're like, well, if we get him, we'll let you know, but just keep checking the website. It's a wrap. He gone.
Maybe she has them then, and she's trying to see if you're going to tell her.
I don't think so. No. Where's she going to get them from? She didn't know where I live or nothing. Anyway, y'all. Back to what we was talking about. Somebody said, tell her the truth. You tell her.
Yeah. We haven't talked about African Bambaataa.
Hold on. We still talking about the pull-ups. We still talking about the pull-ups. Let's get into the latest pull-up, which was actually Melrose was before Black Alpha, right?
Yeah.
Melrose was before Black Alpha.
Black Alpha just happened a couple days ago.
Yeah. So let me find that one first.
He and Marcel actually just did a space about this yesterday, so I had a chance to listen in. Just the energy in the room, who was there, all the things. Of course, he got escorted out.
Black Alpha or Melrose?
Black Alpha.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know what happened after he got escorted out. What did Kamala say? Because she was still on stage, like she was in the middle of babbling.
Yeah.
She was in the middle of babbling when he got up there. But hold on. Let me play this one. Let me put this one back on the screen. Show this one real quick. This is Melrose recent clip that went viral at the National Action Network convention, whatever they was having, little Boule Democratic shield convention that they was having. Melrose pulled up, and again,
we have to get going in one moment. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
Hey, yo, as I look around this room, if you're 35 years old or younger, raise your hand. 4 people. So here's the thing. Y'all in trouble. Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. All of y'all in here, with all due respect, you're beautiful, but you're old. You're not talking to the youth. You don't know how to talk to the youth.
Around in the
You're trying to tell us what to do. We're not having it no more. So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you don't have our money, you don't get our vote. Yeah, who are you? Oh, all right, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm going to land my plane right there, but the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. No check, no vote. Y'all take care. And somebody get my man a tissue. He need a tissue.
Shout out to Melrose, man.
Man.
Shout out to Melrose. And look, some people got a problem with the delivery. Some people got a problem with delivery. I think his energy is great.
Great.
I think his energy is needed. He's not overly emotional. He's not up there just babbling nonsense. You know what I'm saying? He's very clear, very concise. He utilizes the allotted time very wisely. You know what I'm saying? He makes sure that he gets his point across. He asks his pertinent questions. How many in here under the age of 35? That's important to know. You know what I'm saying? At the first one, he said, how many of y'all in here come from an immigrant background?
Right.
These are important questions to know. You know what I'm saying? In order to put things in context, in order to put things in perspective, because we got this delineation movement going strong.
Right.
And so it's important to know who is who. You know what I'm saying? And who's allowed to speak for us and who's not allowed to speak for us. Whose voices are important and whose voices ain't. You know what I'm saying? So I think the brother's energy is needed.
And he was very sweet. He said, you guys look good. You know, you just old. You're out of touch. You know, you're talking down. Like, let's tell the truth of how the youth or the ones that are 35 and under are feeling. You know what I'm saying? With the way that the Roland Martins, you know, talk to people. You know, and what's that little punk that be on social media all the time advocating for Kamala? He has a bald head. He's kind of light skinned, and I remember when she was campaigning, he put up some tweet of him basically bent over looking back at it, basically like, yes, like this is the type of stuff that we don't want to see, because we don't care about anyone's sexuality. We care about that check. We care about tangibles. You know what I'm saying? So your sexuality means nothing to us as foundational Black Americans or grassroots. If you gay, you know what I'm saying, but you about the lineage first and reparations and all that, then we rock with you too.
Yeah, it is what it is. We already speaking for you.
We already speaking for you.
That don't call for a separate conversation. You're not a separate ethnic group because of who you sleep with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're already included in what we're talking about, regardless to who you sleep in the bed with. You know what I mean? So that's just a distraction. You know what I'm saying? That's just a distraction. That ain't nothing to really focus on. But yeah, the people who speak and have the delivery that some of y'all say certain people should have, you know, trying to be respectable and all of that. The people that do have that kind of delivery, they ain't talking about nothing.
No.
They ain't saying nothing. And so somebody got to speak truth to power. Somebody got to say what needs to be said. Forget about the delivery. Is he speaking facts or not? You know what I'm saying?
And my thing is, I would love to know, what did these people disagree with? You know, the ones that are booing, you know, when it came to Black Alpha, and then when it comes to Brother Melrose, what is it about what he said you disagree with?
That's a good question. And so there was a video that I seen.
I'm gonna come back. I'm freezing.
Yo, it's cold out here too. You see, I got this hoodie on.
No. I'm saying I keep freezing.
Today. Oh
no, I'm saying my screen. It keeps freezing.
Well,
I'm gonna come back.
You're not freezing on our end. We see you and hear you just fine. Okay, I don't know what's going on with her thing, but there was a video that I saw Melrose had posted on his page with this Black conservative sister who was disagreeing with him. She had a problem with some of the things that he was saying. And I want to play some of that. Let me get Nicety back up here. But
there we go.
You wasn't freezing on our end though. We could hear you and see you the whole time. You good now though?
I'm fine now.
Yeah, so I want to play some of this video. Let me see if I can forward it. Okay, I can't forward it. I gotta let this play a little bit before I share it with y'all. But there's a conservative sister who did a reaction to Melrose video, and I want to play some of what she was saying. You know what I'm saying? As a person who, like what you just asked, what do y'all disagree with? You know what I'm saying? What is it that y'all disagree with? And so we're gonna hear from her in just a second, but I gotta let it play because y'all know on Instagram you can't fast forward it. And so as I'm letting that play, do we got Melrose back yet? Is Melrose back in the chat yet? What's going on, B1 Business? Shout out to you. Trying to see if we got Melrose back in the chat yet so we can get him on. That's my new Tether Bay. She was choosing. Oh, this Melrose right here. Melrose. Melrose. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for you to hop on. All right. Let me get that link to you real quick. Where is it?
Not the Tether Bay.
This link, I'm dropping a link in the chat, but it's only for Melrose. I don't want nobody else to click the link right now. Link is in the chat, but it's only for Melrose. All right. And so the video is almost up to the part where she starts talking. So just give it a couple more seconds while we're waiting for Melrose to hop on. And then we could play that joint and kind of break down what she was talking about. You know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, he here. I dropped the link. The link is in the chat, Melrose. The link is in the chat. Click the link so we can get you on and react to this. Your Tether Bay. React to your Tether Bay. Let me play the video now, actually. Let me unmute this. This is her reacting to the clip that we just played of Melrose at the National Action Network.
First, ideologically, I don't align with these people, but I first want to make some comments on just initial observations. Is it me or is anyone else notice that liberal Black men are incredibly emotional like their matriarchal counterparts?
So first of all, our brother is not a liberal, I don't think.
Right.
I'll get him on so he can speak for himself, but I don't think our brother is a liberal. I don't think he considers himself that. Hold on. All right, we got you on, Melrose. You got to unmute your mic.
Check. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Welcome to the Godcast, King.
Excellent, man. It's a pleasure, privilege, and honor to be amongst y'all company. Hey, Nicey. Hey, Sincere. And the whole chat. All's well. Great to be here with y'all.
Peace, man. Definitely appreciate you. So she referred to you as a liberal. Is that accurate?
No, sir. She's just lying and flirting.
That's your boo. That's your boo thing, low key.
New little Tether Bay facts.
All right, let me play some more of the video and we can react to it. All right, let me play a little bit more.
Now, I'm going to make an observation. You have two Black men here, the one in the white and the one in the black. Now, the one in the black, has a little bit more masculine aggression, but the way
she liked that. You could tell.
He handled and carried himself was very emotional. It was more like a false masculinity. And although I applaud his...
Hold on. Before she gets to the applaud part, she said you was being a little emotional and displaying like a false sense of masculinity. What you say to that?
Once again, I know that she doesn't believe anything she's saying. She's just selling the grift to her audience. So I ain't taking that personal.
No doubt. And that's true. They do be hustling. And I don't know her. This is my first time seeing her. I don't know if she got an audience or whatever, whoever she is. But I disagree with her. Let's just say, for example, that's her real opinion. I disagree with her. I didn't think that you was emotional at all. You know what I'm saying?
Or aggressive.
Very assertive, which you should be. You know what I'm saying? But very clear, very concise, and honest and truthful, saying what needs to be said. You know what I mean? The problem is you sucked up all the air out of the room. You know what I'm saying? Because it's supposed to be just a babble fest. You know what I'm saying? They're not really expecting nobody to get up there and say nothing real like that. So you sucked all the air out of the room. And, you know, I guess that's what she's trying to paint as emotions. I don't know. I ain't get that. Right. Somebody said false masculinity. What is that?
Right.
Said Tether Bay is crazy. Melrose stood on FBA business. Facts. All right, let's play some more. Because I really want to get to this part where she starts talking about the ideology.
Bravery for at least at minimum confronting Democrats on their BS. His worldview still needs to be shaped a little bit more because he's still wrong. He was still talking about reparations and that, you know, it needs to be a check. And if you don't have our check, you don't get our vote, without even understanding how the Black community could even begin to get reparations in the first place. Like this comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of not just economics and the way the world works, but the Black community, by and large, has been discipled under a socialistic framework.
It's always that we just too dumb and we don't really understand how things work. You know what I'm saying? Where's her family from?
My thing is, do the people that just got here yesterday, do they know how it works?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we have Democrats, you know, going on record talking about these people need reparations, you know, for what they went through with ICE.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, what the is she talking about?
People have been saying she's from the Bronx and that she may be non-FBA. I'm not sure, but I have heard people say she's from the Bronx.
Okay, which means nothing. But okay. All right, so she getting into this thing where we don't understand economics and how the world works, and we've been trained into depending on the government to fix all of our problems, and we don't know how to do things on our own like other communities, like immigrant communities. You know, they have a different, more elevated sense of the world than we do because we're just beggars and looking for handouts because we talk about reparations.
What do I mean? We are well trained in protest and begging and whining and crying. We know how to do that very well. But we've also been trained to look to government for the answers to our problems. Unlike in a capitalistic framework, if you look at the Asian community, if you look at the Indian community, if you look at immigrant Africans who come to this America, they are well trained in capitalism and not socialism. And how we know this is because we never hear Indians and Asians and Africans complaining about representation, begging the government for what they're owed and what they should have, and give us this program and give us that program. And we don't have enough people that look like us in office here, and give us this symbolism, give us this statue, give us free. Like, you just don't hear them speaking in those kinds of categories.
All right.
They don't have to, because when they get here, the red carpet is already rolled out for them to get those resources.
Big facts.
Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? These people are getting business loans. They get here already with a social security number, with business line of credit. You know, they can go open a bodega, a freaking a little market. They can open up a gas station. You just got here yesterday and let you tell it with $2 in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you do that without the government?
And we have been documenting on this platform for at least 3 years now, with receipts, all of the handouts and benefits, unearned benefits that these people get the minute that they show up.
Man.
The legals and the illegals. These people are not doing this on their own. Just come over here, rubbing two nickels together, pulling themselves up by the bootstraps because they understand economics and we don't. They got all types of programs and set-asides and monies set aside for these people to be able to own these gas stations and these hotels and motels and all this other shit that they come over here and so-called build.
And
you know what I'm
let's not
saying?
forget about the nonprofit hustle that we're learning a lot of these people have and making millions and billions of dollars, siphoning out the government as well in different states. Like here in California, out there in Minnesota, and other places. So these people come over here and they get put on game on how to hustle.
Big facts. Big facts. We talked about recently how there was a program that Trump just ended that has been in place since 1982. I think it was 1980 or 1982. They had this program in place specifically for African businesses. Hundreds of billions of dollars are allocated every year from the United States government specifically for African businesses. You have to be African and have a business in order to receive this money. And the person that was running it, they just got caught up in some scandal where they was finessing the money, of course. They was finessing the money for themselves and their friends and all of that shit, of course. And the Trump administration just shut this shit down. They did away with the program altogether. But that shit been in place for decades.
Yeah.
Where these people getting this money. We talked about in New York City with the taxi cab medallions and how they bring people over here from Sri Lanka and all of these other places and walk them through the process to get these super expensive New York City taxi medallions. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, yo, can I cut in?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, my favorite sneakers of all time are the Air Max 1997 Silver Bullets. And I was listening to a broadcast. I think it was, I get confused sometimes between Jason Black and Professor Black Truth, but one of them were talking about the taxi medallions and how these immigrants were able to come over. And during that broadcast, they brought up how the immigrants were able to come over, get the taxi medallions without any collateral. And then he spoke about how in 1964, the first Japanese bullet trains were, rolled out. And then he put into context on how in 1964, we were still fighting for civil rights, having dogs sicked on us, water hoses, pictures in black and white. Meanwhile, Japan, they were able to roll out bullet trains in 1964 off of the reparations that America gave them for dropping those bombs on them.
Right. From the what's the name
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But they did that I forgot the name of the act to rebuild all of that shit. I forgot what it was called.
For lack of better words, it's reparations.
It's better. Reparations. Yeah, it's basically reparations. But yeah, facts. And so yeah, again, we've been documenting these things for years. How these people come over here and get all of these handouts and unearned benefits. Specifically, not these programs are not necessarily designed to help these people elevate. It's really just designed to harm us. That's really the sole purpose of all of these programs, of all of these resources and funding that's being allocated to these people. It's specifically designed to keep us in the bottom position and to continue to perpetuate harm against us. That's the only reason why those programs exist. It's not for them. It's just against us. You know what I'm saying? And these people are more than happy to participate and take the crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Because at least they ain't us. That's their mentality. At least they're more than happy to play second fiddle. You know what I'm saying? What y'all talking about? Immigrants have been receiving handouts for decades. Special incentives, programs were given to Jamaicans to come to the U.S. to be nurses, teachers. Oh yeah, and I saw nicely you was posting something about that, right? With the percentages of the healthcare workers, the immigrant.
Yeah, because you have what's that bald head one name?
Simone Sanders.
Not that bald one. Not her. Presley.
Ayanna Presley.
Ayanna Presley. She's talking about 1 in 5 healthcare workers are Haitian or whatever. And of course, you have white media who's going in here and they're actually giving us the stats. You know what I'm saying? Where it literally shows that Haitian workers are literally 0.6% of healthcare workers in the U.S. 0.6.
You said a maybe program.
Like we don't even need y'all.
Call immigrants when we go over there. Yeah. I'm trying to read the comments. Trying to keep up with what y'all talking about in the comments. But let me
Basically, he
continue
was
with this
saying that
video.
Haitians are 20% of the U.S. healthcare workforce, and it's not.
So she is making shit up.
She was making shit up, and I actually put the stats in our materials in there where it literally breaks down by ethnic group who the healthcare workers are. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But the point is, like, even if they was, what that got to do with us? Why is
right?
That's not something that's going to get us to rally around that issue. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing about it is, the big replacement.
Exactly.
So they're standing while we're standing on reparations business and not voting for anything, not voting for non-tangibles. They're standing on business in supporting illegal aliens, and that's how I take it.
Yeah,
so they're saying, F y'all, what I'm saying? We're going to keep doing what we doing.
Yeah, that's the Democratic position. They standing on business.
They standing on business.
Because they're too busy focusing on greenery. And when I say greenery, I am specifically talking about greenery as in growth and greenery as in money. The African, the Asian, the Indian is focused on how many gas stations, beauty supply stores, nail salons, hotels and motels can we erect in these neighborhoods so we can earn our check. Whereas the Black American, this young gentleman here, is coming from a place of liberation language and reparation requests and wanting money. Now, he is acknowledging that Democrats are trash, and he's right. They are completely disconnected. Everybody in here is old down here.
And let's make some corrections there, because we talking about reparations demands, not requests. Reparations demands for money that is owed. That's not the same thing as a handout, to be clear. And these other people that she's talking about, like we just said, they all come over here and get freebies. We are actually the only group of people who have been able to build productive communities with nothing. With zero handouts and help from anyone. All of these other groups that she's talking about, they all get freebies. And you still...
What happened to ours? Everything that we build. Ours gets sabotaged. Theirs do not.
Right. They get assisted, they get protected, they get coddled. We get sabotaged. That's the difference.
We have a Hispanic assemblywoman, Kate Sanchez, here in California. She's proposing a bill now called AB 2600 that would do, it will basically, California will fund lawyers for all illegal immigrants under the new bill.
Insane.
There's no study. There's no commission. None of these things. They get right to business when it comes to these other people. Now, that is government funding. That is government handout.
Right.
But it's not being called that.
Taxpayers paying for that.
Taxpayers paying for that.
And didn't Karen Bass just cut them like $2 million check for something?
So that was to the Asian community for homelessness.
Yes.
Comeback homelessness.
Yes.
And Skid Row is full of freaking foundational Black Americans. My son and I, my son is purchasing a place. So we was out with the realtor a couple weeks ago. We went to go see 4 properties or whatever. And we was driving through LA, and we were on Avalon, going through on Avalon, we were passing Florence, Gage, and all these streets. And it's literally looks like Skid Row on Avalon. And all those people were Black.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of LA.
Real quick, shout out to First Class Citizen C1B for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Said they used the immigrants to create a buffer class against us. It was their way of punishing us for attaining our civil rights. Facts. And so
now, what would they be saying to the youth right now that was refusing to not sit at the go to the back counters or eat? What I'm saying? What would they be saying to those youth now that were standing up against the establishment due to mistreatment? You know what I'm saying? Because you guys don't have that. 1 minute in one breath you want to celebrate You know what I'm saying? The youth that was doing that back in the 60s. Now it's a new civil rights, movement going on, the grassroots, as I call it, or whatever. Now you guys want to shun and shit on them and talk about how stupid and dumb and how we don't understand civics. What would you guys say if this was that time?
Yeah, and also the work that those youths were putting in during that time is the only reason why these immigrant groups that sister was bigging up have the ability to come over here and do what they're doing in the first place.
Right.
And so, Brother Melrose, before we let you get up out of here, I do want to play one more video with Sharpton responding to you and get your feedback on that. But if you could share with us real quick, what was going on in that room behind the scenes? Like after you got off the mic, after you said what you said, did you get escorted out of there? Like what happened that day when you got on the mic?
If you recall, there was a moment during my submission where right after I said Kamala's a racist, there was a moment when I said, hey, who are you? Because what was happening during that moment was, and I realized this in retrospect, the people that were behind me were Sharpton and NAN's personal security. It may have been 4 of them, but I call them the 3 Stooges. But what happened was, after the hey, who are you? Because he tries to yank the mic away, and then it didn't move, as you see, and I'm like, hey man, who are you? Because they were giving him directions like, hey, take the mic. And also at that same time, Al Sharpton's 3 Stooges were behind me, and they were supposed to be escorting me out, but they didn't. And when I was done, My plan was to leave. So as I'm leaving the ballroom where the conference was being held, to the right of me is the audience, like the main portion of the audience, and to the left of me there's more audience, but there's also the 3 Stooges who call themselves walking behind me as if they're escorting me out. So as I'm walking out of the ballroom, you got I'll say about 6 to 8 people in the audience. They stand up because now they have something to say to me. They want to say something. And then, of course, you got the 3 Stooges following me. So as I exit out of the ballroom into like the main hallway area, they called the hotel's security to make sure I'm out of the building completely. And the hotel security, the main dude, he was like watching, he was aware of everything, and he had all the rest of the hotel security with him. What the rest of the security didn't know was that when the main security saw me, he knew me. He was like, yo, Mike, what you doing? It was a dude I went to high school with. We ain't see each other since high school. So when he seen me, he was like, yo, man, they called me to get you out of here, but I'll let you rock. Just don't turn up. So after me and him dap up, catch up and all of that, he kind of goes back to talking to his security, detail or whatever. And now the people that followed me out, about 4 of them, and I'll just say the 4 that did agree was like, hey man, I agree with everything you said. Finally, we got somebody to say it. They were from
say that there.
They were from out of town. And about the 4 other people that, had a disagreement or were on some where you're going to get the money from stuff, they were, I guess, from New York City. But I kind of just brushed them off. I said much respect to the people that was, agreeing. And then I just left from there. And then and then after me, there was one other person that went, and the line was still long. But after that guy who went after me, they was like, hey man, no more. Because I went back and watched some of the stream. They was like, hey man, no more. And then Sharpton got on and said what he said.
Interesting. And so, first of all, none of that security shit was even necessary because
it was not.
You were completely under control, very poised, non-threatening at all. You said what you had to say, and you gave back the mic, and you went about your business. So all of that was unnecessary, but the ancestors is always looking out. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the head security person was somebody that you knew and went to high school with. Ain't none of that shit accidental or coincidental. You know what I'm saying? And so you on mission. You know what I mean? You on mission. You doing what you're supposed to be doing. So you're gonna be protected in that. And so the other thing that I want to say, when you said nicety, why don't they say that in the room? that's what I was trying to point out earlier when we were talking about the difference between the reaction that Black Alpha got because of the audience that was there for Kamala versus the reaction in the room with Melrose. There wasn't as much of a big reaction of boos and all of that stuff going on after Melrose spoke, because a lot of times there'll be people in these audiences and in these circles that actually agree with what we're saying when they get a chance to hear us unfiltered, but because of maybe their job situations, certain political affiliations and different things like that, they can't be as bold and outspoken as we are. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that when it comes time to move, that they're not going to move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? When it comes time to vote and not vote and things of that nature, that they're not going to, you know what I'm saying, get on board with us. So it's good to have voices like Brother Melrose up in these places to say exactly what we're saying, unfiltered that way, so that those people who are kind of on the fence or in those different situations can actually hear the message clearly without the white media putting their spin on it.
Right. Or the Black Boule Sambo class.
Right.
You know, putting their spin on it because Al Sharpton got up there and lied.
Exactly.
He got up there and lied.
And so I'm gonna play that real quick. But I think there was another video too. Didn't he respond to you on his radio show too?
Yeah. I think Black Alpha, Afro Elite did a breakdown of that one I saw as well. But yeah.
I would like
people
to
were
play
calling in. So people FBAs was calling in to the radio show too.
I would like to play some of that if you could find it on Instagram and just DM it. But let me play this right here real quick. This is Sharpton after the situation that Melrose just explained, where he got off the mic, somebody else spoke, and then they shut it down. And then Sharpton got up there, and this is what he had to say.
In terms of our report for the year, and then we're going to go on with the program. Our young people are rehearsing, getting ready for this afternoon is our youth day. I heard somebody talk about young people that tell them to just stay around. They're going to see two people, afternoon, all of the youth in there. And I don't know, but you get provocateurs, because anybody that is talking to somebody younger than them holding the mic, then you know that they paid agents. And if you're in the room, if you don't like me saying that, I'll say it again. Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them. So talk that ignorance somewhere else.
And so, Melrose, you all types of agents and provocateurs, and they paid you to come out there, and Tariq Nasheed sent you and all of that. What you got to say? What you got to say about that, brother? Are they putting all these accusations on you? They saying Tariq Nasheed sent you. You're a paid agent. And this is Al Sharpton saying this too, by the way.
Of all people.
I've always been the type that, well, from my neighborhood, my block where I was born and raised, Melrose, you not going to get support. You not going to have nobody have your back if you don't fight for yourself. And I'm the type, like I've had that ingrained in me since a youngin'. In order for anybody to have my back, they got to know that I'm a fighter. So I kind of like defend, speak up, and fight for other people and fight for the lineage. I really am not the type to fight and defend myself, because everybody knows I'm a fighter. And in my mind, when somebody's like attacking me, when I didn't do anything wrong or I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not going to go out of my way to like try to defend myself from lies and stuff. So I'm going to just fall back and keep doing me. And you got so many. Jason Black is on his joint right now, getting on Sharpton and rolling. I got people all over the country getting on Sharpton and rolling. I got OGs from New York in their 80s, 70s, 60s. Their children and grandchildren are hitting me up. Hey, my grandfather, my father, they said that you're their new favorite hero. When they were out here back in the day in New York City, they were trying to get it popping, and Sharpton, Charles Rangel, they were blocking, they were gatekeeping. So, like I said, I don't have to respond to a corny nigga like Al Sharpton when there's so many people that got my back and are defending me. So I'm not offended by like a corny rat snitch sellout.
Excellent point, man. And yeah, and that's the reason why we here today, to defend you for you. You ain't got to say nothing. We saying it for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because when they talking about somebody like Melrose being a paid agent, who would pay him to go out there and advocate for foundational Black Americans?
Black Americans.
3-letter organization is interested in helping us get our reparations and what we deserve? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. So that's why they always got to throw Tariq Nasheed name in there. Oh, Tariq send these people out there. Like we all just dummies and we just do whatever Tariq Nasheed say.
Because we can't think for ourselves. We ain't got eyes that can see what they doing.
And then this bullshit ass talking point about you're not gonna be able to get no reparations unless you get the right people in office in the first place, whatever he said. But it's like,
y'all been in office, ain't done shit. HR 40 has been there for 40 some odd years, and it's a study. You haven't even moved on that. So what are you talking about?
How long Sharpton ass been propped up as some type of Black leader? And when have you ever heard him speak about lineage-based reparations or any type of reparations, really? I never heard Al Sharpton talk about no damn reparations ever.
No.
He been in the public my whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Before you were thought of. He's been before we were even thought of.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But Melrose, man, you've been more than gracious with your time, man. I appreciate you hopping on and adding on. If there's anything that you want to say before you get off, let people know where to follow you and stuff like that. Anything that you want to promote, go ahead. This your time. Brother Melrose. Yeah, I think he probably got something else going on. But
check. Yo, are y'all there?
Okay.
Yeah, we here.
All right. Yo, man, I just wanted to say once again, it's an honor, pleasure, privilege to be on your platform. I've been watching you for a few years. You and Nicey do y'all thing. I'm a huge fan. I'm gonna keep tuning in. And yo, that custom made Francis Cress Wilson joint you got, that joint is dumb fly, yo.
Yeah, we was just talking about bringing that back too, man. I gotta see what we could do about that. But I appreciate it though, man. Thank you. Much respect to you.
Nah, man, it's all love. And can I just shout out my website real quick?
Absolutely.
Hey, yo, if y'all, I can't answer every like DM and comment. I get overwhelmed a lot by those. But if you have any serious general inquiries or any serious business inquiries, you can go to www.melroseradio.com. Go to the booking section. If you can't find what you're looking for in the booking section, you can just leave a comment in the contact us section, and somebody will get back to you as soon as possible. And when I say somebody, I mean me, because I don't have a staff. But once again, thank you, Sincereluvdagod, and Nicey girl. Sincere to love God. Appreciate y'all.
No, you said it right. No, you said it right the first time, actually.
Oh, well, Sincereluvdagod, my ball. Yeah. Pardon me.
No doubt. Peace, man. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Big respect. Yeah, everybody else always say it the other way around. Sincere to love God.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see.
Can I tell y'all what I did on Friday? So I think I had some type of midlife crisis last Friday. And I went into the bathroom in the mirror and I cut my hair up to here on my own.
You did? Why'd you do that?
And it's up. I gotta get into the salon to have someone fix it. Like, I mean, it's like to here. Like my hair is right here.
I mean, did you do a good job? Is it
was
even?
Here, huh?
Did you get it even, or is it toe up?
Oh, it's chopped. I gotta go to the salon and have someone fix it.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I think I have been in the house, obviously, for stuff, and I don't know. I just went in there. I washed my hair. I blow dried, and I was like, I'm going to, and like it just. I'll send you a picture.
Somebody come get them scissors.
It's too late. It's too late. Like it's literally too late.
Man, that's crazy. Well, hold on.
It's a shame.
Am I still here? Am I still in the right place? All right. Let me pull up. This was the video with Al Sharpton.
So you're gonna have to fast forward to like the 20-minute mark, and that's him on his radio show because he didn't do the clips yet.
I don't want to pull that up because it's gonna open up the X tab and that's gonna mess up the stream. So I'm not gonna pull that up. But let's go to our brother Black Alpha's pull up real quick. Where's that? Just seen it. Okay, here it go. So again, Kamala had some event where she was promoting her book, and Black Alpha pulled up to that joint. And here goes the clip for that one. Let me put this on the screen. Shout out to Black Alpha, standing on FBA business in real time. Check it out.
You are gifted. You are important. You matter.
She up there doing the help speech. You is gifted. You is important. You is somebody.
You come from people. There is pride. There is pride.
On behalf of foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations, Kamala. On behalf of foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations. We're not going to use our ancestors' legacy to give money to illegals, immigrants. We're foundational Black Americans. We built this country. We're not voting for you. We're not voting for the Democrats. And we're not voting for anybody until we get paid. Remember that.
And so it's a room full of white women in there booing. Shout out to Black Alpha.
Said, you are not going to use what we've been through for every other group but us.
Exactly.
We're not going to let you do that.
And that's what they always do. They always want to use our cultural and historical cachet in order to siphon benefits and tangibles for other groups.
Right.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Like the Selma March with the Somalis. Did you see that? Yeah,
I saw that.
The Somalis going to Edmonds Pettus Bridge. Like y'all,
I think I talked about that when you was absent.
Y'all couldn't find. I mean, y'all can't live on your own. Grievances. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fall on ours all the time.
They ain't got nothing. We the only people here with a legitimate grievance against this government. You can't have a grievance against a government that you swam 9,000 miles to get to.
Right. To claim oppression.
You know what I'm saying?
But you don't want to leave at the same time.
You should have stood on business where your ass was at.
Since it's the government.
Here
in California, there's this white dude. His name is Nick. I don't know Nick Shirley. So they're out here in California proposing a bill. Huh?
Nick who?
Shirley. His name is Nick Shirley.
Okay.
So he's the little white dude who's been exposing all of these fake, hospice, centers and medical offices and stuff that's getting millions of dollars worth of government funding here in California. Mm-hmm. So instead of them trying to, get the fraudsters, arrest them, whatever they got to do to hold these people that are doing it accountable, you have the Democrats. The Democrats are proposing a bill right now called the Stop Nick Shirley Act, so that they can stop him from exposing fraud in California.
Which is crazy as hell.
That's crazy as hell. And my thing is, if this ordinary citizen, right, could find this information, why don't y'all know about it?
Right. They do know about it.
That's why they got this bill.
They down with it. And that's why they're trying to make a law to stop people from exposing it, because you're going to expose their ass.
The bill is called AB 2624. It will criminalize journalists with misdemeanors and $10,000 fine, imprisonment and content takedown. Let immigrant-based NGOs funding be confidential. so they want to hide it. Take away freedom of the press from journalists. Protect any immigration support service information from being public, meaning healthcare, legal services, etc. This is what they're trying to block. So they want this to happen because we already know the Democrats have been already trying, to silence, especially Black media.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if they go after him, who you think is next?
Right. And this type of moves are coming at a very bad time for them, with the election cycle coming back around, and they trying to gear Kamala up to run again, and they're trying to figure out a way to get Black support back on their side, because they have been hemorrhaging Black support. The Democrats have been hemorrhaging Black support for the last few elections. You know what I'm saying? Yep. More and more people have been leaving the Democratic plantation. So now they're plotting and scheming and trying to find ways to get us back on the plantation without giving us anything. And so stuff like this is coming at a bad time for them, because it puts them in a pickle where they got to do something to stop the exposure that's going on, but at the same time give off the appearance that they turned over a new leaf and now they're ready to do business with us. Because now you got your girl Kamala, she up here sounding like us, talking like us a little bit.
Did you hear her?
Let me play that.
I was talking earlier about how people are so transactional. I think we need to be transactional voters. I think, yes, it is right when we are trying to get folks to register to vote and to go vote, and it is absolutely right that we remind everyone of our history, especially when they're trying to erase it. We remind people of the lives, the bloodshed on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, the sacrifice of those young people at the lunch counter, the assassination of Dr. King. There are so many things that we must remember about history, so that what compels us to vote includes not only our civic duty, but honoring the ancestors. Yes, and here's what I'm suggesting in addition. Get yours. Vote and say, I'm voting because I expect something out of this. You're not going to take for granted. You know how I was talking earlier about how people are so...
You know what I'm saying?
You know what, though? It's just like, now you're playing in my face.
Right.
At the same time. You're saying this now, but you playing in my face. Because you're the same person that said, I'm not going to say that I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people? No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people? No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people? No.
And now all of a sudden you talking about quid pro quo.
Right.
No tangibles, no vote.
Right. I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? So this is supposed to...
While giving tangibles and policies to people who ain't even asked you directly for anything.
Who ain't even vote for your ass. Some who can't vote if they wanted to.
Vote for you.
The disrespect is incredible.
And loud.
The disrespect is incredible. It's beyond benign neglect at this point. It's beyond benign.
That bill that they're trying to get to criminalize, or stop this person from, exposing all the fraud. Bambaataa, she's a Democratic attorney. She's the wife of a Democratic attorney general here. She was also part of one of the persons who voted no on August 31st, 2024 against our reparations, by the way. So don't forget that name, Bambaataa, here in California. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now you guys have a whole bill trying to block this person from blocking people who are committing fraud from being held accountable.
And so again, these programs are not in place because they care about helping other marginalized groups. These programs are in place specifically to harm us.
Yes.
The only group that is a real threat to the status quo. The only group that is a real threat to the system of white supremacy Nobody else poses a threat. So you could give them little benefits and tangibles and all of that because they ain't going to do nothing but help you maintain the system even further.
Right.
But they understand that when we get our weight up, we here to tear shit down and rebuild from scratch because the system that's in place is garbage. It don't work for us.
At
And so
all.
when we get our weight up, and we talking about not just money, but power. When we create an infrastructure that's designed to do away with the current system. They understand that. That's the fear. That's the difference between us and every other group. I finished playing the Black Alpha video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the Black Alpha video. Shout out to Black Alpha. Shout out to Black Alpha, man, going out there standing on business. And this is the new norm.
Yeah. You a few weeks ago as well, I don't know if you remember that Conscious Lee dude. What's that rapper named Vince somebody? I can't think of his name.
Vic Mensa.
Him. Yeah, it was a few people. So some people sent it to me. I ended up sending it out. Obviously, I couldn't go. But anyway, Tariq ends up pulling up to that event. You know, he's just sitting in the audience. He's filming and stuff like that. But basically, he said that turned into a all trans lives matter event. Right. It wasn't about reparations. It wasn't about tangibles for Black people. Although, you know, you look at the flyer, you know, you would think it's something about that. It turns into an all trans lives matter event. Typical bait and switch BS from the Democrats.
Right. And so, again, Pull Up Summer has started early. You know what I'm saying? And so, shout out to this sister. I think this was in Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah. And that's a older lady. Older sister.
Shout out to this sister who was outside standing on business at one of these liberal, I don't know what the hell they was doing out there. These white liberals out there. They had something going on. Yeah, something going on for the immigrants and the illegals and all of that. And you had this lone FBA sister out there standing on business. And I'm like, where is the FBA family at? Why is she out there dolo like this? That's the thing I didn't like.
Right.
That's the thing I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for the cameras, it could have got ugly out there. You know what I'm saying? Because they were very hostile toward her.
We do not have a problem if persons are legal and they have
y'all see it?
Citizenship.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ask this young lady to show you her citizenship. She is on the county commission, and she has, well, this is public property, this is city. So what I was speaking, excuse me, I started speaking, so let me finish. No, you go stand over there. Why don't you show us your citizenship?
That part.
So let me. No, we're not going to have anything here.
This is a separate press conference.
Let me finish speaking, and then I'll leave.
We are asking. This is not part of the press
this is a public.
You should have played past him.
Federal public housing property. Anybody can be on this property. So let me finish. So the African American community, we are being devastated by the illegal people that are in this community.
She's talking about foundational Black Americans, to be clear. Yep. When she say African American, we know, you know what I'm saying, that's out of habit, you know what I'm saying, for some of our elders. That's just a habitual thing. You know what I'm saying? But to be clear, she's talking about foundational Black Americans who are being harmed by these illegals.
I'm not speaking about the legal. I'm speaking about...
And we are speaking about the legal too, by the way.
Right.
You know what I'm
Both
saying?
of them.
She need to come holler at the grassroots because, see, a lot of our people who not even really tapped in with the voices of the new Black media are still having the same reaction because they see what's happening. They understand the harm that's being done because it's happening to them in their communities. Right. So people who are engaged like that, they're able to see it for what it is, but they really need to get around us so we could really game them up and they can have the right language and all of that. You know what I'm saying? When they trying to advocate for themselves.
The illegal folks that have not shown that they are U.S. citizens. And that young lady who sits on the city council, she brags about that she came in here from Canada. I don't have a problem with that. My ancestors came into this country years ago and was put in slavery. We understand that when people are in crisis.
They don't care.
But what we want to talk about.
Now look how they react.
Right.
Look how they react.
Hostile, aggressive. All the things that they said about Melrose, that's what's happening to this sister.
Right. And they immediately start tethering onto our culture and our history. Start singing goddamn Negro spirituals. This lady out here standing on FBA business, talking about our history and our lineage and what we deserve and how we're being further harmed by these programs that they got set up for these illegals. And what they start doing, singing Negro spirituals.
Right.
When you allow so many illegal people to come here and not be U.S. citizens and get housing, get food stamps, you are devastating the African American community. And the immigration problem in this city and county has devastated the African American community. Now, a lot of people, they don't want us to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. And she needs to show us that she's a U.S. citizen. So you see how rude they are? You come into the black community to give us the impression that you care about black folks, but they don't. So they can sing and do whatever they want to do, but she needs to show us her citizen paper, that she's a U.S. citizen, and that she has a right to be in our National County Commission. And I ain't going nowhere until the media, if the media wants to be fair, cover her, show her picture, ask her, where was she born at? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, African American slave song. Let it shine, let it shine.
Foundational Black American slave song. Shout out to that lady, man.
Right. Y'all don't even have y'all own song.
I'm just mad she was out there dolo, man.
I am too. And she needed the right language.
Where your sons and your nephews in them at, man? But yeah, these liberal white women, liberals in general, but these liberal white women specifically are extremely aggressive,
hostile
and devious.
Right.
Devious. Do not let them fool you. Let me show y'all this other video right here. Let's analyze some things real quick. Talking about liberal white women, right? Let me show y'all something. Because they'll come around and they'll talk a good one and they act like they down and they try to have some fake solidarity with the people and all of that. Like this white woman right here. I think she's an actress or something. Hold on. Y'all might know her. I don't be watching movies and TV and shit like that much. Who is this white woman right here? You know her, Nicey? Sophia Bush.
Oh, yeah.
She talking about 10 toes down always. That's our Black American vernacular, by the way. 10 toes down always. Now listen to her.
It is always political. As the white friend at this event, I'm going to go ahead and say to the women who look like me, to the men who look like me, it's incredibly important to remember that so much of what we love in America comes from Black culture, and white people.
That's true.
People need to show up for Black people the way they show up to be entertained by Black culture. So given who's in office and given what we're seeing happening to Black and brown communities in our country.
Here we go. See? Right there.
Go ahead.
I mean, she started off Black. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we enjoy, you know what I'm saying? All the freedoms that we have is due to the Black community and blah, blah, blah. Then he Black and brown.
Immediately.
Where the brown come in at?
Right. The immediate pivot to Black and brown. And then being that we have who we have in office, being that we have
Right.
this administration that we have in office, so now they did that
It's
same
his fault.
play. The only time they want to talk about racism is they're going to put it on Trump. Only time they want to talk about anti-blackness is they want to put it on the Republicans. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
she needs to see Melrose's video. Trump
Right.
is racist. Biden is racist.
Right.
Kamala is racist. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, we're not worried about that. Be racist, cut my check. Be racist over there.
Right. You got to listen to these people carefully. Listen.
We better get our shit together. It is always political.
So, all right. So the thing I want to point out, right, with her, let's go to her page. So now she's supposed to be this white liberal, you know, she's down Black Lives Matter and all of this stuff, right? She's down. She said as the white friend, she's the white friend. She's the white friend. Let's go to her. Let's go look at what she's down with, though. Let's look at the causes that she represents. Can y'all see this page? You can see this page?
A little bit. It's small, but I can see what you're doing.
Okay. So the second button says donate to the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota.
Interesting.
All right. So all this black stuff, she's the white friend, and we gotta respect black people, and you know, all of this stuff, black. And then, like you said, immediately, what about black and brown?
Right.
And now click the link in my bio and donate to the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. And not only that, you can also support Planned Parenthood. You know what I'm saying? I am the American
white liberals
dream.
for you.
Right. Oh, Sophia Bush. What celebrating pride means to me this year. So again, it immediately pivots to black and brown, immigrants, LGBT.
Mm-hmm. I would love to ask
abortions.
her, what do you think about cash reparations specifically for foundational Black Americans? I guarantee you she'll pivot.
She'll have a fit.
She'll have a fit. Where are we going to get the money?
Right.
It will bankrupt America.
Right.
Black people need financial literacy training first.
Look, why the rights to an abortion matters for every person. This is the things that she's advocating for, y'all. Amnesty International for Iran. She got
reparations on there.
She got 45 links in her bio. Ain't none of them there specifically for Black Americans.
Right.
Actually, not even just specifically at all. We ain't included in none of this shit. We ain't included. Only thing we included in is abortions.
Well, I think, when she said, you know, white people need to be quiet and take a step back. Now you sit your ass back and be quiet and listen to what the hell we saying. None of that stuff that you talking about benefits us at all. We ain't on that type of time. We want reparations.
Right.
Economic policies, tangibles.
Right. You got to watch these white liberals.
If you happen to be a foundational Black American that happens to be LGBTQ, you know, homosexual, whatever, that includes you. You're included already. There's nothing separate for you.
Man. But yeah, you got to watch these white liberals, man. They think they slick. And, you know, because we used to fall for that. And some of us still do, because the only reason why I saw that video is because a partner of mine shared it. And he was sharing it as if it was a good thing. You know what I'm saying? He was sharing it like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important that we do what we do. We got to put people on game so people can see through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because again, on the surface, it sounds like she's an advocate. It sounds like she's an ally.
You got to listen to all the words. And as you do it, let me click on her profile. Let me go into her bio and let me see what she's advocating for.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. None of this.
Right. Shout out to First Class Citizen again with the super chat. Appreciate that. He said it's the quote unquote why can't we be friends syndrome. Right.
Like Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it? What does friendship got to do with it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you're my friend don't mean that I don't still want tangibles. And
Right.
as my friend, you should want me to get what I'm due.
Yeah, friend.
Friend.
Yeah, friend. But yeah, man, we've been on here almost 2 hours. Nicely.
Yeah.
Time flies, man.
It does. Time flies when you're having fun.
But yeah, I think we had a pretty good conversation.
We did. Shout out to Melrose again for pulling up. Appreciate you for doing that. I didn't know he was coming on, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't either. I seen him in the chat.
Know he was coming on. Yeah.
I appreciate him hopping on.
Right.
But we didn't get to talk about Bambaataa.
No. Yeah, we got to talk about Bambaataa a little bit now. I mean, obviously, if you've been living under a rock, African Bambaataa transition last week sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And for many, many years, a lot of us, have heard about these allegations of him, messing with young boys and things like that. Hassan Campbell being one of them who's publicly, said what Bambaataa did to him. And no one, I don't feel like I don't want to say no one. Let me word this right. The culture, I don't feel like held him accountable. I feel like he lived kind of under a rock because he really wasn't public or anything like that. We haven't seen him tour, or do anything, but no one's really outside of Hassan Campbell doing his videos and stuff like that. None of the major voices in hip hop had really held him accountable. You had KRS-One kind of defending the dude.
Right. That's true. That was
and
that was kind of whack to see. Yeah, that was definitely not a good look. That was kind of whack to see. And that video was a little bit older, but obviously it recently made its rounds again because of the passing of Bambaataa. Mm-hmm. And you had, certain people like you're saying, like the Chuck D's and certain people like that who were kind of eulogizing him on their social media and stuff like that. And, everybody, the thing about it is I wouldn't say that he was let off the hook by the culture because he was socially ostracized. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't really come around like that. You know what I'm saying? During hip hop,
but did he do that or did they do that?
No, I think like during Hip Hop 50 and all of that, he wasn't invited or included to none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? People wasn't going out their way to make sure that they gave him a spotlight to celebrate the 50 years of hip hop. Stuff like that. I don't know what they got going on with the museum. You know what I'm saying? If how they're gonna handle that situation, when it comes to the museum that they're building out there. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't see how he could not be. But it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle that situation.
What about the one that you and the museum that you guys went to, you and RP Beats a couple years ago? Isn't like I think it was something that Jay-Z did. Was he kind of?
Oh no, that was that was during Hip Hop 50, but that was just a Jay-Z thing.
Okay, but was he in that?
No, it was just Jay-Z. Wasn't nobody in that but
nothing.
Jay-Z.
All Jay-Z.
Yeah, just Jay-Z, okay. Rockefeller. It was celebrating Jay-Z's career only. Gotcha. Some that they had at the Brooklyn Museum, where they basically transformed not the Brooklyn Museum, but the library. They transformed the library into like a Jay-Z museum for a couple of days or whatever. And I think they're doing that now for like different themes, you know what I'm saying, where they're getting people to come back into the library and get library cards by featuring certain acts and artists and stuff like that from Brooklyn, who've been prominent in hip hop. But that ain't have nothing to do with like the Bambaataa thing and all of that. But yeah.
Was he married? Did he have children?
I don't even know, to be honest. I really don't know. Even over the years with all this stuff that's been going on, I haven't spoken about it that much. I haven't really covered Bambaataa or talked about the story or anything like that. It wasn't, I was never too attached to his legacy or anything like that, where it was like, damn, it's going to be hard to write off Bambaataa. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was just like,
right.
Good riddance, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Handle your scandal. That's how that's how I looked at it. Like, handle your scandal, my nigga. Like, to me, that don't put no stain on hip hop. That don't put no stain, you know what I'm saying? That's not a reflection of us as a people. First of all, he's a tether.
Right.
Let's be
Why was
clear
he
about
ever
that.
convicted? No one pressed charges? Like, did he ever get questioned by law enforcement? I'm wondering, like, all these questions now come up. Like,
Yeah, I don't
because
think there was
again, I
ever no
only
formal
heard
charges.
from Hassan, and I think Hassan said that it started with him when he was like 15 or 16 years old. Now,
which is crazy to me.
Which I was just gonna say, I'm not victim blaming at all. I'm not victim blaming at all, but I just can't imagine my 15, 16-year-old, you know what I'm saying, letting it happen. He gonna fight you.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Period. You know what I'm saying? And how we were taught, you gotta bring gas to get ass. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta take a whipping. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't imagine my 15, 16-year-old hunching over when it went down.
15, 16, from the hood, from the inner cities, back in the days, like the way that we grew up, the way that we was built, like, that's the grown man. I was a grown man at 15, 16. You wasn't going to just, you know what I mean?
Unless he was just fanning, he thought that maybe he was going to make him a star. So I don't, even that.
It could be like some Cassie type of situation.
Yeah.
It was cool while it was cool, but when things didn't go your way, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Again, and this is part of the reason why I never really talked about it, never really delved into the conversation like that. Because it
gets weird. And again, I've seen some of his, videos, because now that this situation happened, a lot of his videos are coming up in the algorithm, and I've seen shorts because I've never followed Hassan like that. You know what I'm saying? But you see these shorts of him talking about it, and it, like,
and he basically made a career out of being a victim of Bambaataa.
Of it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he's known for. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, I'm not trying to excuse nothing. If Bambaataa was doing that weird shit, he's a fucking weirdo.
But you was old enough to say something or fight.
Right. How you came out years later? I don't know. But there was other people who were victims too, from what I understand. You know what I'm saying?
There were several victims. There's other people who've done interviews over the years who said that basically they heard things throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? It was like something like, yeah, we heard about it, but it was kind of like, you knew, but you didn't really say nothing. But
niggas ain't say nothing. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
And these are other artists, by the way.
Right. And that's like the thing with what KRS was saying. He was making it seem like, regardless of what he did, it's more important to protect his legacy, because basically you tying his legacy to the entire legacy of hip hop. And he even said, like, basically Afrika Bambaataa invented hip hop, which is false. That's what KRS said. Afrika Bambaataa didn't participate in hip hop. He invented it. Nigga, get your ass out of here with that shit.
And see, this is why, his legacy, you know what I'm saying, is going to be kind of weird too now with the bullshit that's coming out, the things that he said. It's like, now you up your own legacy with this type of goofy stuff that you be saying, KRS-One. Come on now.
Right. And look, nigga, look, man, it's not our job to protect nobody's legacy. Your legacy, it's your job to protect that. It's your job to have integrity and stand on business and, you know what I'm saying, move a certain way in order to protect your own legacy. It's not our responsibility, whether we're fans of you or whatever, whether we was influenced by you or whatever. It doesn't matter. Things change.
And when it comes to children, you know what I'm saying? If that is in fact what he was doing, when it comes to violating children, all bets off.
Yeah, man. All bets are off. Damn
I'm
that.
looking at KRS Wide knows us real funny style now.
Yeah,
very funny style. Does he have children?
I don't even know.
I know Miss Melody had two prior to her passing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. They never had children together.
Yeah, that's crazy. I really don't know.
Right.
I really don't know. But yeah, KRS out of line with that bullshit.
Out of pocket, big time. That just threw me off. And like you said, that was an old clip, but it didn't age well, especially now that Afrika Bambaataa has passed on.
Yeah, it should have never been said.
I saw on social media too, some people were saying like there was supposed to be a memorial service in New York for him, but it's not like a big, thing. It's just like I guess people are talking about it. Another dude called into Tariq's platform and he was like, think about this. It's New York. Basically, where hip hop is born, there's no murals of African Bambaataa in New York at all. You
No
got
streets.
Eazy-E, you got people on the West Coast on murals out there, but you don't have African Bambaataa. What does that say? I said that's interesting too. You know what I'm saying? So New York really felt the way. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're, this hip hop cultural icon, why wouldn't we have a mural somewhere of you? It's those allegations.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Brother Ish said KRS do got kids.
Wow.
So I have no respect for Clown RS1. Remember his song 13 and Good? I knew somebody was going to bring that up.
Oh, wow. He has a song called 13 and Good.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt with that song because I think the song was really more about awareness, but it was like a POV, the way, you know what I'm saying?
A point of view.
Yeah, the perspective that he was coming from was as if, you know what I'm saying? But it was really like, KRS was the teacher, you know what I'm saying? KRS was the teacher. He was all about, awareness or whatever the case may be. But hey, some people gonna put that on him. And again, it's not my responsibility to protect his goddamn legacy. He gotta do that on his own.
Remember, Dewan broke down that interview that what's his name? Jay-Z recently did with, wasn't it Vogue or something like that? I don't remember. One of those white, GQ, there you go. And he was breaking down, the pillars of hip hop, and he left out knowledge.
Oh yeah, he was totally off that. Like, he remixed the hell out of that.
He remixed the hell out of it. Then you want to talk about, battling, which is a part of hip hop, not being a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Then you left out knowledge. It was like, JC, I'm looking at you funny style too, homie.
Yeah, he remixed the hell out of that shit. Talking about.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
The battle, the battle
people
itself.
Look to Jay-Z as an upper echelon, of hip hop. And I won't take that from him.
As far as his talent,
you gotta be mindful of what he says too.
Yeah, as far as his talent, and it's good because we should have always made a distinction between how we see somebody as far as their talent versus the individual and how we view them and where they stand on certain things or whatever. Okay. We've kind of blurred the lines between those things for too long because we think somebody could rap good. You know what I'm saying? We just give them a certain status across the board. But no, you're a good rapper. You're still a good rapper, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, what we're talking about in this other category over here, whether it's a social issue, political issue, whatever. We could hold you on a lower tier in this category, but still give you your props where props are due. You know what I'm saying? And we just haven't done a good job of that. But I think because of these things, and us paying more attention to these things now, we're starting to get more sophisticated when it comes to that.
Also, I was just looking, I be catching up because it's like so many people in Black media that you catch up, and sometimes I can't even look at a full broadcast, but I'll get some of it. But Dewan did one, I guess, what's his name? P Rock and CL Smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so P Rock basically said that CL Smooth, he got on Joe's podcast talking about CL was jealous of him. And so CL responded, you know what I'm saying? And it sounds like he's on code, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to, the creation of hip hop, you know what I'm saying, respecting where it comes from as far as the James Browns and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I was just like, wow. But it's crazy to me that a tether was sitting on the couch, you know what I'm saying, with another tether and calling a foundational Black American jealous of him.
Right.
That was crazy for me. The crazy work.
Right. Yeah, man. And CL's cool, man. CL's cool. You know what I'm saying?
He's been getting active on TikTok, by the way. He's very active on TikTok.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. That's what's up. Mm-hmm. That's what's up. But yeah, man. The Pete Rock thing, man. Pete Rock is corny, man.
Cornball.
And again, same thing. Great producer. You know what I'm saying? One of the dopest producers of all time. You know what I mean? He up there. But he's a fucking cornball and he's a tether.
Yep.
And he's a liar. And he
And a
knows he
liar.
be lying.
And I'm gonna go as far as saying a thief, because everything that you produce, you sample foundational Black American music. Fool.
Yeah, you got to sample our shit.
Hell.
You got to sample our shit. He go by Soul Brother #1.
And James Brown, if I'm not mistaken, is his profile picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it all comes from Jamaica, according to him.
Right.
He don't even do the 50-50 thing. It all
Right.
comes from Jamaica. Let him tell it.
Well, he should have Shabba Ranks up in his profile picture then.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It's
man.
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But-
we are maturing. We are maturing
Yeah.
when it comes to these things. You know what I'm saying? And I seen Brother Ish said, we didn't blur the lines. The white supremacists blurred the lines. But it's on us. The onus is on us to differentiate. You know what I'm saying? Just like we doing with delineation. The onus is on us because they're gonna do what they do. They confusion is a weapon in their hands. They want you to be confused. You know what I'm saying? So it's on us to bring clarity. And that's what we're doing. We getting clarity.
And it ain't going nowhere. And I think that the Democrats, even, with her bringing up, transactional and all that stuff, they're trying to figure out ways to adjust their language to see if it's going to stick. If she does decide to run, right now they're tipping her big toe, in the water to see if it's hot. It ain't gonna work, Kamala. You better not let them use you and embarrass you no more.
That's gonna be a major failure.
A major failure.
That's gonna be a major, major, major failure.
And the same thing for what's his name out here? Oh Lord, Governor Newsom. It's not gonna work for him either.
Yeah, if they run either one of those two, they basically giving the Republicans an alley-oop. And now the thing is freezing up. It's time to go anyway. But I wanted her to say what she was gonna say. Nicety, you frozen. You is frozen, Nicety girl. Anyway, if y'all didn't do so already, man, please hit that like button for us. Hit that like button. Hit the share button. We appreciate everybody rocking with us on today's broadcast. And also, I need y'all to do me a favor. My son, 7, shout out to 7, the Super Hey Rule. He is still in the running to become America's favorite student. We need you guys to go ahead and vote for him. Let me put that inside the chat. Hold on. Let me put this inside the chat so you guys can vote for my son to become America's favorite student. He has the chance to win $20,000 toward his education, a trip out to the Planetary Society, to meet with Bill Nye and tour the Planetary Society and be featured in the Reader's Digest magazine if he actually wins. Right now, he is in the top 5 of his group, and this Thursday is going to decide the finalists. So he's on his way. He's number 1 in his group. So he's well on his way to becoming one of the finalists in this competition. And so after Thursday, it's going to be all of the top dogs. Everybody that's number 1 in their group are going to be going at each other. And so we need everybody to vote. And you can cast 1 free vote every day. 1 vote every day you guys can cast. But also, if you want to donate, every dollar that you donate is worth a vote as well. And also, I believe it is the day before the voting ends where they do double. So just make sure that you're following me. I'm at Sincereluvdagod on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow my son on Instagram and on Facebook at 7 the Super Hey Rule. At 7 the Super Hey Rule, so that you could be updated on what's going on with that competition. And I'm trying to put this thing in the chat for y'all, but for some reason, the live chat is not working on my end. Hold on a second. Let me refresh this page so I could drop the link for y'all in the live chat so y'all can go ahead and cast your votes for the young God. All right, here we go. Where's that? Here we go. America's favorite student. Boom. The link is right there. And I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the top. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. I will also include the link on the in the description for the replay on this video. But we need y'all guys. Right now it's coming down to the wire. And it's some heavy hitters in the competition. We follow some of the other kids that's in the competition as well. And some of these guys, they got millions of followers on social media and stuff like that. They're being featured in local news stations and stuff like that. And so they doing what they got to do to galvanize support so that they can win the competition. And so we need you guys, the Black Grassroots, to really get involved, to push 7 forward, because I mean, I think he really deserves it. And this is something that I think he would really like. You know what I'm saying? If he win, I know, I ain't gonna say I know he would really. This is something, you know what I mean? He don't get too excited about that many things. 7 is very nonchalant about damn near everything. You know what I'm saying? I could go in the room and tell him right now, we going to Disney World tomorrow. He'll be like, oh, that's cool. And go back to playing Roblox or something. He don't be getting hype about nothing. But when it comes to this right here, this is something that he's very excited about because it's right up his alley. You know what I'm saying? He always been just a nerdy kid who's into like science and different type of nerdy type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? And so this is up his alley. Bill Nye, the science guy, you know, they show him in classrooms at school and stuff like that. So him and all his friends, they know Bill Nye, the science guy, who he is. And, you know, this is something that he's excited about. So the link is in the chat right now, and the link will be in the description. Vote for free once a day. And if you want to donate, like I said, $10 equals 10 votes, $20, so on and so forth. It's $1 for every vote. And on the day when it's double, that's when I really need y'all to come through. When it's double votes, if you're the type of person, you're going to throw $25 on it, you're going to throw $50 on it, do it on the day when every vote counts as double. You know what I'm saying? On the other days in between, when you click on his link, you can see what place he's in. Like right now, when you click on the link, you'll see 7 is in first place in his group. So it's cool if you just cast a free vote. Just cast a free vote. Just go and give him a free vote so he can maintain his position. Long as he's able to move on to the finals, that's good. But on the day when it's double, if you're the type of person that wants to donate, like shout out to some chick named Star. I don't think she's here right now, but some chick named Star, usually with us live in the chat. But she been supporting since day one. I really appreciate you, Star. Thank you so much. You always come through. And so, yeah, if you're somebody like Star who's going to hold the fort down and donate and all of that, do it on the day when the votes count as double. You know what I'm saying? Hold off your donations for that day. I would definitely appreciate that. Shout out to, what's your name? Trill Fate said, I voted about 20 times. Salute. Appreciate that. Crew Reality said, I voted and shared it on X also. Appreciate that. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Crown 808. She been holding it down from day one. That's our sister right there. She been holding it down from day one. And yeah, he's doing a great job, man. He's about to be finished with the 5th grade, moving on to middle school. He's a straight A student right now. He got a lot of stuff going on. I can't even think of everything he got going on right now, but he's doing great. It's just across the board. And so he deserves to be, you know, supported. So again, follow him on social media, vote once a day for free, donate on the days when it's double the votes. All right. So much respect to y'all, family. This has been today's episode of SincereluvdagodCast. Always remember, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Up out of here, man. Peace and Black love. Y'all hold it down.